We are excited to welcome you to library online training sessions for Web of Science and JCR. Actually, we will have two informative sessions today. First session this morning, topic is Web of Science, your first step to research discovery and pathway to breakthrough publications. And the second session scheduled for 2:30 p.m. today. Okay, stay with us until the end of the training session. And once the session is nearing completion, we will share the attendance link in the chat. Without further delay, with great pleasure, I invite our speaker for today, Mrs. Kurinji Malar. She's a customer education trainer at Clarivate to begin our training. Okay.
Thank you, Panafida. And I also would like to take this opportunity to thank Azura as well as yourself for organizing this session today. And for the rest of the participants, very good morning and selamat pagi to all of you. And welcome to this Web of Science, your first step to research discovery and pathway to break publications webinar session today. And before I move on, I would like to give a very brief introduction about myself. So my name is Kurinji Malar. You can call me Kurinji. And I'm the customer education trainer for Southeast Asia and have worked with many academic institutions across Southeast Asia. Of course, I'm based in Malaysia. This is actually my very first time having training with UMP ever since I've been with ProQuest Clarivate for the past 3.5 years. And together with me, my colleague Julene, she's here. She's from customer success team. And some of you might be already familiar with her. She's based in Singapore and has been working across Southeast Asia, Australia, New Zealand, and Hong Kong. And today she will be helping me out on managing and addressing the question. She's an expert in this subject matter. So she'll be addressing some of these questions from the floor. Yeah. So to conserve the bandwidth, I will go off camera for now. So if there's any question in later on, I'll be back on camera. Yeah, just let me go off camera. Okay, so this session is actually scheduled for 1.5 hours. And if you notice, you will see that your audio is set one way. So you are not able to unmute your speaker yourself. So please use the chat panel on your bottom right-hand corner. So if you notice, some of you already responded in the chat panel. So if you notice there's a chat panel, use the chat panels to post some question and we will address your question accordingly. Okay. So without further ado, let's move on to the session's objective today. So since this is a learning session, so we have set some objectives. So what would be your key takeaway after the session? Number one, you will be able to find literatures, yeah, to conduct your literature review efficiently. You will understand how Web of Science can help you to find most influential and hot research papers. And you will also learn how to identify gaps and emerging trends in a particular topic by exploring the citation network of a paper. And you will use some of the, you will discover there's an analytic tools on this platform that will uncover novel ideas, potential collaborators and funders. Yeah. And lastly, you will also be able to create a complete researcher profile for yourself to showcase your research expertise. So this is what we're going to cover in next 1.5 hours or so. So if you have any question, please feel free to post it in the chat panel and we will address the question accordingly. So let me start with this statement. Keyword search is easy, but often less robust than you think. Yeah. So Web of Science is a citation database. It's a tool that can help you to discover information or literatures from the ideation phase, yeah, from the very beginning, the ideation phase to problem formulation, to literature searching, to data evaluation, data analysis, interpretation, to even finding journals to publish. Yeah. So to start with, usually how do someone find for information on the open web? So almost all of us, including me, we always use the keywords to find information. So we always enter the keywords into the Google search engine. We will enter the keywords into the academic database to find the desired information. Somehow using the keywords has some limitation or challenges in it, especially to discover the comprehensive discovery. So the reason is, if you use the keyword search, the search is simply based on the occurrence of the keywords. If the keywords appears in the text, then it will surface to you. But by searching with keywords, you will be definitely able to identify some relevant papers, but you may not be able to identify or discover the evolution of the evolution or the development or the relationship between the research papers. So in order to have a comprehensive and holistic understanding of a research topic, you should include discoveries with citation network. So citation database like Web of Science will be helpful in exploring the relationship between the papers. Okay, so with that, I'm going to move on to the next part. So before we go further in looking at the citation networks and so on, I would just want to take you through this slide, okay, for the benefit of the early career researchers. So most of you might be you already know what is citation index and so on, but this is for the benefit of the early career researchers. I will just take you through this slide. Yeah. So the citation is a reference to other published materials. That is the definition of it. And the citation index is a database that captures all the references of all items, allowing the users to easily establish which later documents cite which earlier documents. Okay, so basically to see who cited whom and so on. So what that means to you is, with using this citation index, you can easily find the older and the newer related papers. So it forms a relationship between the research of these documents. So in Web of Science, the content is indexed comprehensively, including the full references list of every single document. So with that, you are able to identify the network of citation based on a sets of papers. Okay, so I just move on to the next one. So again, I just want to use this slide to explain to you. So to start with, you will need to find, so here, so when you start do a research, you will need to find key relevant documents with keyword search. Yeah. So once you've identified the research that actually sparks some ideas, gives you an idea on a particular research topic they're working on, then from the originating papers, or we call that the paper that you have discovered, or the seed paper, you use the citation network. Yeah, use the citation network to uncover the undiscovered content or information that was not discovered earlier. So how that works is, so you will know that so let's assume that we have discovered that this paper, it's in year 20 this paper is 2012 paper, and all that you want to explore on this topic, you want to explore further information on this particular topic. So from this 2012 paper, you will now find, looking at the references, the references list is referred as cited references. Yeah, so the references that used in this list is called as cited references. If you see in my screen, hold on, yeah, let me enable my pointer. I didn't enable my pointer, so you're not able to see that. Okay, the cited references. So with this cited references means it goes way back, the papers that has been cited to have the findings of these 2012 papers. So by reviewing the cited references, you can look back at the history. You can go way back to look at the history, why it was cited, how it was cited, and so on. And if you want to explore the subsequently, so now you know why it's been cited, what are the years that has been cited in this paper. Now, if you want to move forward and look at what had happened subsequently, what is the new chapter of this research topic? So what's the development of this research topic? Then you will look at the papers that has been citing this article. So the citing article is now called as time cited. Yeah. So if you see time cited, that means it's actually a citing articles. So this will be a very good timeline for you to look at the evolution of the research, which new direction is taking on this research topic or in this research domain that you're working on. So apart from the references, the cited references or the time cited, there's another way that you can explore the relationship between the papers. So that is to use the related records. So what is related records? Related records are papers that share the references. So if let's say these papers here, they basically share the references from here, and they are classified as related records. Yeah, related records because they have been sharing the cited references. So now, by using all these three connections, three comprehensive ways to identify the whole spectrum research timeline, you will now have a large pool of source list or references list to analyze or to do your literature review, to synthesize it for your research topic. So that is how it works. So hope this is clear to you. If you have any question, just put it in the chat box. Yeah. So the citation network is basically useful, especially when you use a keyword in a topic that is not easy to define. So for example, if you have topics where it covers on business, sometimes it also overlap to social sciences, that it might be applicable in multidisciplines. So the results may not precise. And whenever you have the needs to keep track on the older researchers. So for example, in the field of chemistry, especially the field of science, you want to keep track on in the older research. You have to look back at the history. Where in this example I want to share with you is about the chemical compound. You want to know when was this chemical compound discovered, how a specific chemical compound had been utilized previously. So you can trace it through the citation network. Using the citation references, or even to look at the forward time cited. Another particular useful use case for this citation connection is whenever you see you want to see the new trends, the new where is this research leads to, what's the direction of this research. So for example, we know that digital currencies like the cryptocurrencies lead to so many research in investment research in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then you will look at major focus on the revolution in the fintech. Yeah, so it is very, very useful when you want to look at the new development of a research topic, where is it heading to, and so on. So that's just a few examples. So this basic concept of citation network, that is how and why Web of Science was built to support the research community to explore the gaps and the trends in the research. Yeah. So now, what do Web of Science contain of? What is the coverage of it? So Web of Science covers multiple databases. It depends on your subscription. So apart from having the Web of Science core collections that has been listed here, Web of Science also have other databases such as InSpec, BioSys, Medline, and other regional collection databases, and etc. So it all depends on your subscription that you have. So if you have the subscription, it will appear in your search. So this I will demonstrate that later in my demonstration session. Okay. So currently you have access to the Web of Science core collections. Yeah, and I say core collection, basically it includes the 4 journals collection, that is Science Citation Index Expanded, Social Science Citation Index. Yeah, so this is what you may have currently in your collection. And other than that, you have Arts and Humanities Citation Index, Emerging Sources Citation Index, including the Conference Proceedings Citation Index and Book Citation Index. So this is the whole core collection. but I think for UMP, your collections is to Social Science Citation Index expanded and Social Science Citation Index expanded. Is that right, Puan Afida?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I move on. So to summarize, there are about 21,000 journals in the core collections, plus minus 21,000 over journals in the core collections, with 200,000 conference records and about 100,000 books in the collection. But although the content go way back to 1900, but I think the current subscription of UMP, it actually starts from year 2018 to current year. Yeah. So if you look at, you may see a different sets of results in when you do a search, because that's because of the coverage that you have. It's from 2018 to current. Whereas if I do my search, it goes way back to 1900. Okay, so we always hear about these predatory publications, yeah, predatory journals. So if any authors had accidentally published with predatory journals, that will have a greater impact in the career. It's very critical to an author. So where they can't even republish the manuscript elsewhere subsequently. So Web of Science database basically emphasizes the editorial integrity, and it's well known as a publisher neutral citation publisher neutral citation index. The reason is because the content is selected based on publisher neutral selections. So what it means to all of you, as you know that Web of Science or Clarivate, we do not publish any journals. Hence, it comes to a selection, when it comes to a selection of a journal for indexing, it is solely based on the set of evaluation criteria that journals have to meet in order to be indexed. So, so for the Web of Science core collection selection, they are done by our very own in-house editorial team who have no affiliation with publishers or institutions. So what it means is that there is no biasness when it comes to selections of the journals. So we have open access content. Yeah, we do have the open access content here. You know, when we there's a lots of open access content, the free to read content, but the open access content that we have indexed in Web of Science also go through the same rigorous selection process to meet the selection criteria, which means it has to meet the 24 quality criteria and the 4 impact criteria. So with that, all the content in Web of Science is all trusted, as everything has been curated with the strictest criteria and rigorous selection process. Therefore, it will help researchers to avoid any potential publishing in predatory journals or the untrusted journals. So currently, we have about 20 to 25% open access content, which means about 20% of the content is available in full text. Yeah. So how do we select and classify the content? So just to explain this, I'm going to use this graphical format to explain to you. So how do we select and classify the content based on the 28 selection criteria, 24 quality criteria, and 4 impact criteria. So altogether 28, total of 28 criteria. So let's say if a journal want to be indexed in the Web of Science, so they will be put into a queue. So they'll be in the queue here, and the evaluation process will start looking at the 24 quality criteria. So if they have met all the 24 quality criteria, then they will be indexed in the ESCI, the Emerging Source Citation Index. And if they meet another additional 4 impact criteria, so if they meet another 4 impact criteria, then they will be indexed in the specialty. So they'll be indexed in the specialized or the flagship collection, such as Social Science Index, the Science Citation Index Expanded, Social Science Citation Index, and Arts and Humanities Citation Index. Yeah. So later today, my colleague will talk more about it. Previously, these social science The Science Citation Index and the Social Science Index only has the impact factor. But now with the new JCR report 2023, the journal impact factor has been extended to AHCI as well as ESCI. So later in the JCR session, my colleague Julian will talk more about it, in the afternoon session. And the performance of the journals, although they have been already indexed here, they've been continuously monitored. So if any journals that in ESI gain impact, it will be, can be moved to the flagship index, or if they actually lose the impact and then vice versa, come back to ESCI and so on. Okay. So that is a little bit about the process of the selection, Web of Science score collections, indexing selection. Okay. Now, before I go into the live demo, I thought I want to share with you some of these powerful features and functionalities and some of the new features and functionalities from Web of Science that will bring value to your research activities. So by doing so, I believe when I go into the live demo, you will be able to even understand better. You're able to visualize what we have discussed in this PowerPoint presentation. Yeah. So with that, one of the main important feature is used for the data evaluation is the analyze results. So whenever you perform your search, when you run your search in the Web of Science, you will have a set of results, right? Then in that set of results, you can do a little bit of refining. You can refine looking at the, the timeline, looking at the publication, looking at the authors who have involved, who are looking at the affiliation that has contributed to the content. You can refine it from the panel, but what you'll be seeing is very one-dimensional. Each time you refine, you see one-dimensional view of that result set. But having access to with the analyze results, now you are able to see a bigger picture, a complete picture, or you can see a multi-dimensional view of your result sets. Yeah. So likewise, the citation reports also give a visual. This is a citation report. Gives you a visual graphical presentation. So, but what I'm going to start with is I'm going to talk more about this and analyze the analyzed result. So that will allows you to have a closer or the more granular information about your sets of your results that you're working on. So first thing that if you use this analyzed results, what you can do is you can find some answers to questions such as basically you have some question in your mind and you want to explore who are the authors who had contributed to this publication. Then you would want to identify which institution or the affiliation who had been publishing on these sets of content, and who are the funding or who are the funding agency that has funded these sets of documents. And you will also can explore publication title to see which journals are publishing in this selections of this content that you are analyzing. So by exploring and asking such questions, you will get a little bit more ideas or answers to the questions such as who are the prolific authors in your research area, who can I collaborate with in this research area, who are the leading institution in this research area to collaborate with, which institution that I can collaborate locally or internationally, which journals are publishing in this research area, or even look at the who are the funders in this research topic. So there are so many information that you can quickly discover just by clicking with one mouse, and you give your very visualized and a graphical information that will help you to have multi-dimensional information about the sets of results. Okay, so that is analyze results. Then you will also have another analysis tool that is actually a citation report. So citation reports, when you click on it, it provides a lots of information such as the number of the matrix. Yeah? Basically, it's a citation matrix with the information such as the number of publication, the citing articles, the times it's cited, and etc. So what is the use case of this citation report? Why is it important? So citation report is useful, especially when it comes to grant or funding application, when you want to apply for grant or funding, you will need to prove or provide some evidence to the decision maker to show that the areas or the research or the search information they're working on, yeah, the area of research or the research topic that you're working on or you are embarking on is promising and has potential and it is still relevant. So by looking at the citation impact, yeah, or the publication trend. So you can see in this case, you can see there's a sharp increase in the citation, and it's also the publication has been on a consistently on the increasing trend. So this will help you to to provide some evidence to say yes, it's a promising area, and you can submit the evidence either using the download option here, or you can use the screenshot from your Web of Science platform. And another use case is now if you're looking at it from the search topic, but you can also analyze it from the institutional level. So that means I want to, if any institution want to keep track on what is the citation performance for the for their own publications. So, or you want to look at the productivity of the institution, every year how many publication has been published, is it on an increasing trend? So this can be also used for the institution's publication when you run a citation report to make some strategic plans and so on. Okay, now let's move on. We are still in the data evaluation segment, this section. So that means in here, we are looking at the highly cited papers and hot papers. What are those? So again, when you do a quick search, you will see on your left panel, on your refined panel, there's an option on highly cited papers and hot papers. Yeah. So these two highly cited papers and hot papers, they are from the essential science indicator. So you can use the filter to filter the hot papers and the highly cited papers so that you can easily, quickly surface the most influential research papers, recent research papers, and so on. So what is highly cited paper? Highly cited paper helps you to uncover those papers that was published past 10 years and have received enough citation to put them on the to put them in the top 1% of the academic field. So in this case, it's top 1% of academic field of physics. Yeah? So that that shows that this is the kind of a cream of crop papers in that particular field that you should consult. You should not miss out, should consult. Okay. And hot papers is used to identifying papers that has been on the trending, that are trending, emerging, new and upcoming. Yeah, the newer research paper where the papers were published in the past 2 years, and have received enough citations to place them in top of 0.1% in their own academic fields. So hot paper is used to identify the trending. So that means if it helps you to uncover the new novel areas that the research areas or the research topic in the recent years. Okay, so that is hot paper and highly cited paper. Okay. I'm moving on to the next one. So apart from looking at the highly cited papers, hot papers, there is another way that you want to see, see whether is this paper, it's a paper that you should consult further. So based on the indication of the interest. Okay, now, within your search results, yeah, when you do a search results, you will see that there is actually quite a number of, if you go to the sorting option, you will see there are many different ways to sort your papers. So one is the very common one is the higher citation, but I want to emphasize here on the usage. So I'm going to show you how the usage count, if you sort it by the usage count for 180 days, for example, it will help you to identify the document that have been highly used in the last 6 months. So how is that identified is the moment the paper is being user clicked on the full text, or it has been export to the citation management system or exported to Excel, then it is counted as a usage. Yeah. So the highly used count is one way to indicate interest, to show, yes, this paper is used more. That means that many researchers are exploring and looking at this paper. So there is an assumption something must be very interesting there for you to consult these papers. Yeah, so that is how you can use the usage sorting option to identify papers that has indication of interest. Okay. Now, data evaluation, we're going into the data evaluation again, still in the data evaluation section, but this is viewing the full text. So if you recall, I said this Web of Science is an abstract or is a citation database. So most of you might also know, if you want to access to the full text, you need to have access to the full text so that you can analyze, you can synthesize, and you can deep dive into a paper to do your literature review. So in order to do that, we have some of the links has been provided here. So for example, if you see that if it's available in the publisher, so you can straight away click on the publisher's link to access it. And the other one is we have a browser. We have a browser called EndNote Click. So if you enabled or you install that browser, later on the live demo, I will show you how to do that. So once you have installed the browser, install the EndNote Click as a browser plugin. So what it does is basically can leverage this, go into your institution's subscription and see if there's available PDF, and it will immediately surface to you either from your subscription content or from the open access content. So with that, you can just click on the PDF to read the information. So later I will explain more about this. And of course, this open access content. So we talk about having access to the open access content. If there is a filter for you to filter and say what is the how to access to the open access content directly, or if you want to go into the other types of the open access content, especially for library team who wants to analyze and how much article in a journal is open access content. So along with other metrics, library can plan the allocation of the resources more efficiently. Yeah. So this is, you can use these options to do that. Okay. Now I'm moving on to the next part. So so there are a lot of personalization features available in Web of Science, but that requires you to register. Yeah. So only when you have registered, you can access to some of these personalization features, such as the mark list. So mark list is basically you can bookmark or you can create a custom data. You can create a custom data. You run your search and say, okay, these are the top 10 documents I want to analyze further. I want to keep growing the list of this information, so you can manage the information, the sets of content that you want to manage separately as a content data set. Yeah, so you can do so. So basically, you can create up to 50 mark lists, 50 lists. In each of these lists, you can have 50,000 records in it. Yeah. So that will help you to whenever you want to increase, you want to add more information to this, and then you can continue to analyze the information. You can run the citation reports and so on. Okay, so that is mark list. Later in the demo, we will see that more in detail. Okay, so here you go. So mark list. Now exporting. So together with in this platform, whenever you run your search, you also have an option to retrieve this information multiple ways. One is you can directly export it to your EndNotes. If you have EndNote desktop or EndNote online, you can directly export. You can also export it to your RefWorks, or if you have other citation management systems such as the Mendeley or Zotero or Citavi, you can export them to this RIS file and import it over from your citation management system. Apart from exporting to your citation management system, you can even export to your Excel. So in the case if you want to combine with other data sets from other platforms, so you can also create your own data set in the Excel sheet. Okay. Now, why I say this is save time finding relevant papers. So one is through your search, you can find the papers. Another one is through the citation network, but you also able to find some of the papers based on the citation topic. Yeah. So this is we have newly introduced this way of classifying research document. So by default, if you notice, most of you will be familiar with the Web of Science research area. There are about 254 categories. So those are the classification is done based on the journal classification. So where the journals are assigned to a specific research area. So with this new classification, the citation topic classification, this is slightly different. This is actually based on the article level classification. Yeah, this is at the article level. So how is this classification done is by looking at the co-citation of a document. So when a document is co-cited, frequently this will be forming a topic cluster, and that will be classified under the under research under this research topic or specific research topic. So for example, if you look at it, there are three levels on the citation topics. So one is this is the macro level, 7, is classified as 7 engineering as a macro level. And then you will also have the meso level. So under the engineering and material science, that is classified, thermodynamics is classified as 7.70, which is the meso citation topic, meso citation topic. And you go into the more granular one. This is 7.70916. It's the organic ranking cycle. So this is the micro citation topic. So why we say this is easy to find a relevant paper? So let's say if your research is relevant to organic ranking cycle, if you were not, you didn't run the search accordingly, but you want to find all the articles has been classified under the citation topic called organic ranking, micro citation topic, organic ranking cycle, just click on it. It's hyperlink, just click on it. It will bring to you all the document related to that this micro citation topic. Yeah, so that's why we call this save time finding the relevant papers. You might not, but just for your information, later on I probably show you in the live demo also. Okay, now this is another new option also, new filtering options, which is the sustainable development goals. So for example, whenever we talk about the UN Sustainable Development Goal, and most academic institution wants to support and promote the Sustainable Development Goals through different initiatives. So one very common one is through the research activities. So it has been a challenge for most institutions to measure the metrics of these types of contribution. So now with having this filtration on the filter panel, so you are able to now explore and filter the the Sustainable Development Goal, which is for the 16 Sustainable Development Goals out of the 17 SDG goals. Yeah, so that is how you can do it. You can filter it, you can visualize it, and so on. Now, talking about the enrich, this also you might come across, but you may not know what is the use of it. You might come across, may not have used it, but for now, I just want to share with you on the value of this enriched cited references. So as the name suggests, is enriched. It's a cited references, but it has been enriched. Yeah, it has been enriched with more visual information, more graphical information. So that to show you that these references, when you click on any of the dots here, basically it represents the reference of a document, and you'll be able to see the in-text citation. You can click on it and you'll be able to see the in-text citation, and you can read it quickly and see what is the in-text citation about. Basically, this will express the author's intent. So why do I cite this paper in my paper? And what is my intention? Where do I cite? So I cite it in the in my results section, or in the discussion, or in the where is it cited, and what does it emphasize? So whether it's basis, or is it differ in the result sets or its background. It's emphasizing the background or support or the discuss. So this is actually the classification on how it has been it has been cited in that particular paper. So this will give more context to the citation that has been referred in a paper. Okay. Now I'm coming to this researcher profile or researcher's profile. So some of you are already familiar, some of you might have claimed it also. So on this Web of Science, we now have the researcher profile since last year. The content from the Publon has been integrated to Web of Science. Yeah. So now this is called as a Web of Science researcher profile. The researcher profile that you see here is an instrument to demonstrate the research impact matrix. So that means it allows the researchers to access to array of metrics, which include the number of publications, the total number of citation, the citing articles, along with the citation map as well, and also the bin plot information. Yeah, so you have more information by just looking at this. You'll be able to read the profile of a researcher and the impact of the research that has been done along the way. So in this researcher profile, it's not only looking at metrics such as the citation, number of citations and so on, but it also can include the peer review, the information of your peer review work, the editorial membership, which help you to surface more metrics to help researchers to gain visibility or showcase the performance better. So if you can synchronize with the ORCID ID, you'll be able to maintain both profiles simultaneously. Okay. So to know more about it, you can go to this site here. You can scan this, and you can go to the self-guided training to learn how to to update your or manage your researcher's profile. Yes, you can do so. Now, whenever there is a new publication yours being published, so it's always in the past you need to go and edit yourself. Yeah, so there is actually manual editing to be done. But now with this option that we have, you can actually go and change this option to say, yes, I want all my work that I have published, all this information in the core collection and the preprint records to be automatically added to my profile. So with allowing this, then all your publication, the upcoming publications that has been indexed in Web of Science will be automatically added to your profiles. Yeah, so that is for especially for the claimed profiles. Okay. Now, there's another new feature also that you can express your peer review interest. So you can say, I'm interested in to add the peer review interest in these are my peer review interests, and for especially for the editors to look at it and say, okay, if they want to find for a peer reviewer, so they can look at your profile and send some peer review proposals or something like that. Okay. Okay. So the other new features that's been added, if you notice in your author's profile, there will be author publication alerts. So that means if you want to be alerted on the other colleagues' publications, if you want to stay updated with that, or the author citations alerts, you can do so, including also the profile owner citation alerts. Now I want to take you through this author's bin plot before I go into the live demo, because every time that you may come across that, maybe you have not, to have a quick look on that. So in the past, we always use a single point of metrics to assess the researcher's impact or the productivity of the researcher's impact, which has its own drawback. So the ICI, the Institute of Scientific Information, introduced a new way to assess researchers' profile, that is using the author impact bin plot. that allows to portray multi-dimensional data to assess the productivity and the impact in the past 10 years or throughout the career. So this will help researchers to tell their story of their careers. So later on, we will talk more about how how this researcher profile can be used if you want to look at someone you want to collaborate with, and you can look at the research. Beam plot will explain to you more about that. Yeah, so we will see that later in our demo. Other than that, this is on the personalized homepage. I will show that in my demo later. So for now, what I've taken you through is all the features and functionalities that's available in Web of Science that will help you throughout your research journey. But you may come across and you may overlooked on that. So that's why I just bring you back to recap on the features and functionalities. So now I'm going to move on to the live demo. Yeah, I'm going to go on to the live demo. Just take about 2 minutes break, and then we can go into the live demo. If you have any question, just feel free to post it in the chat panel. Yeah. Okay, so there's a question. Can we get the notes? Yes, of course, you can have the notes and also the recording of the session as well. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the Okay, I think we can start the session. Okay, so to access to Web of Science, there are a couple of ways. You can access it through your library portal. So if you go into your library portal, hold on. Yeah, so here. Okay, from your home page, yeah, if you go to the collection, e-resources online database, and if you scroll down, if you want to look at Web of Science is under the W, alphabet W. So just click on Web W, and you will be able to access to the Web of Science. So you can access many different ways to use the off-campus link or institutional login, but you can also use the direct login. So direct login will take you to this page. But at this page, you will see that if you have not registered, so you will see there is a registration button here. So when you click on the registration button, you will be taken to a registration page. Yeah, let me just sign off. Okay, so this register. So it's advisable to all of you. Of course, you can still search without registering to this platform, but you will not be able to personalize those information. So if you want to save your work, or if you want to get the recommendation from the platform, or you want to connect to other products, yeah, you are not able to do so. You are not able to create alerts and so on. So therefore, I would recommend you to register it. So registering is just required the basic information here, and you register. So once you have registered, for the first time registration, you must registering it in from your IP, from your institution's IP. Yeah? So once you have registered, then you will get access, roaming access for 6 months. So after 6 months, you need to come back again to your institution's IP, institution's network to log in, so that when you log in, it get refreshed again. So you can have another 6 months of roaming access. So roaming access means you can access this Web of Science elsewhere, anywhere, and so on. Okay, so that's why it's important to register in the IP for the first time. Then subsequently you have the roaming access. Okay, now I go into sign in. So once you have signed in, so this is how it looks like. You will have your name is indicated here. Your profile is indicated. This is also important. When you sign in, your researcher profile is also created automatically. Yeah. So that's why you will see as I go down, I will have my researcher profile, my researcher's ID. You know, if you have at your, you have done your publication, so you will have all your metrics at a quick glance. And because I have personalized that information, so I want to see my recent searches that I have done in the past, the alerts that I've created, or even here, as you go down, system can recommend you based on the searches that you have been doing, in the past weeks or past days. Then it will recommend to you and say, okay, based on your research, okay, these are some recommended content that I would recommend you, so you can explore it. And conferences, you can customize the topic of conferences that you want to know, you want to follow up, and so on. So that is why once you've registered, you get all this customization and the homepage, personalization of homepage. Yeah. And if you want to change this, if you want to customize the homepage, you can customize it here. Later on, I come back to talk more about it when we go into the author's profile. Okay. Now, to start the search with, you have two options. You can start with the document tab or the researchers. So we're going to start with the document tab. So in your collection, if you go to the, the search in and you drop down it, then you will see the collections that you have access to. Yeah, so that is what you have access to. So when you run your search in Web of Science core collection, then you will see what are the core collections that you have in your platform that you have just registered. Okay, so start with, I can use a very basic search. So I'm going to start with the basic search. That means I'm going to use some of the search fields here. So there you can use all fields, but all fields will give you quite a number of results. Later on, it will take a lot of time for you to narrow it down. But all fields will be very useful when your term is very unique. You are doing a very unique search, a unique research, unique topic, unique keywords. Then you want to find, can I find some information in Web of Science? Then you may want to use all fields. But for those, the rest of the topics which more like common, so I would suggest to use the topic option. Why is topic option is you are able to search, when you run a search, the keyword go through the search title, the abstract, and the author's keywords, as well as the keyword plus. So this is good enough to say this will be a relevant information when it comes to doing your keyword search. Yeah. So to start with, I will go and look at this topic on, this is a multidisciplinary database, but I want to start with some research on renewable energy. Okay. So this is my topic that I want to search. So either I can use renewable energy, that means renewable and energy will appear. But if I want this as a phrase, then just put a quotation mark. This is a standard search techniques or search tips for most databases. And this time I want to add another row. So I say I want to add another row and say I want to look at the publication year published from what year to year, which year. So in your case, I would say I want to use 2018 to 2023. Just for your page. Okay, so this is what I want to. And I just search it, very simple. So even though I have, limited to the year of published to 2018 to 23, Renewable energy is a very common and a very broad topic. So therefore, I see a lot of results here. So what you can do is, of course, you can add more keywords that has been suggested in here. This is by the AI suggested terms. So either you explore this and add it to your current search, or you can also add any other keywords. So for example, if you want to look at it from solar energy, or if you want to look at it from rechargeable batteries or whatever, whichever term that you want to narrow down, you can do so. Another option is you just go back to here and say, okay, I want to look at, you can expand it to with alternative energy, or, but you guys saying, I'm looking at rechargeable battery. So if you notice, I have put in asterisks here. So this means I want either battery or batteries to be included. Yeah. So renewable energy and rechargeable battery. So just so this time your results will be very much narrowed, because it is looking at renewable energy and the rechargeable batteries or rechargeable battery and so on. So this is how you can narrow it. But I want, the reason I'm showing you is to narrow down, but what I want to show you is you can also do a different way of filtering. This time as a renewable energy. Now, on your left frame, so if you want to look at refining from the 80,000 over results, if you want to refine further, of course, you can search within the results as well. On your quick filter here, you can go in and say, okay, I want to look at all the papers that has, you know, which are highly cited papers in this topic, and the hot papers. So what you can do is either use, just select this and just refine it and just refine and leave it. Yeah, so that's it. So now you get to access to all the hot papers as well as the highly cited papers. Then from here, if you want to see, okay, I want to see within that, I want to look at the highly cited papers, then you can just change these within the context of highly cited papers and hot papers. You want to see the most highest citation, so you can explore that such a way as well. So this is why we call this, you can get access to the seminal papers or the influential papers with a very quick access, just by accessing to the filtration. Yeah, so that is one way. So then now, let's say if you want to explore this. So let's say if you want to go in and explore this paper. So before you explore, you have other filters that you want to look through, right? So this is from 2018 to current. You can see the document types, the researcher's profile, right? This has been tagged to the correct researcher's profile. And if you want to look at the micro topic of this, this is in environmental Kuznets curve related research. And if you want to look at the where is that, the sustainable development goals. Okay, maybe it's not because I filter it later on. I will show you when. Here you go. Here it's here. See, sustainable development goals. If you want to look at it from, you know, from climate action or clean water and sanitations and so on, you can filter it further. So to explore further on this content, I will take you through another example. So right now I'm going to clear this, okay, and I want to analyze the entire content. So for example, let's say if I want to see the entire content, 84,000 results, and I want to analyze it further. So all that you do is just go in and click on the analyze result, and you get answer to it. You get an answer to questions such as, okay, in what category is this? Based on the Web of Science category, which is the journal level category, you see that the collections of informations are under the energy fuels, engineering, triple E, yeah, as well as the green sustainable and so on. And as you move on, you can also look at the affiliation. Who are the institutions that has been working on this particular research, who has been contributed to this research, who are leading researchers in this particular topic, and so on. Okay, and you can also look at the funding information. You can look at the publishers who have published in this content and so on. So that is how you can utilize the analyze result. But this analyzed results that shows you the top 10, yeah, the top 10 results. You can also expand it to look at top 25, the maximum. But if you want to analyze more results, as you scroll down, it is in the tabular format. There is actually a tabular format which allows you to explore up to the top 500 information. Okay, so you can explore that by just selecting it, selecting and refine the results. You can also download the data and so on. So that is analyzing your results quickly. So apart from refining, looking at it from one dimension, you can use the analyzed report to see the multi-dimensional information. Okay, so multi-dimension information. Okay, now, so what we have done, we have already looked at analyzed this report. So to look at the citation to report, to see if this citations, to say, yes, is this research is still on emerging, still relevant, still, there is actually a potential for this research. This reports are only available for records that is 10,000 records of your work. So you need to refine this part. So to refine, that's where I was, I may want to add this rechargeable battery. So this now very refined, and you can quickly look at the citation report. Because the citation report that we have limited the time to 2018, we might not be able to see from the original years, the previous years. But with this, you can also say, look at this trend. It's been on increasing, but there is a slight drop into 2022. But nevertheless, you can see the subsequent and say, okay, this topic is an emerging topic. This is there's a potential to this research and so on. So that kind of justification can be done. So along with that, remember, citation report has the publication information, citing articles, time cited, and etc. And also the tabular format to say to explain each of these articles and the citations based on the year to year. Okay. So what we have done so far, we actually did run a quick search. We go in refining some of this information as well as analyzing this information and looked at the citation report. Yeah. So, but now sometimes your search topics may not just as simple as this. It could be more complex. To have more complex searches, you can use the advanced search form. Yeah, you can use some of the field tags here. Use the Boolean operators to add this in to add to your search. To learn more about this search function, search tips and the search strategies, you can go to, if you see on your bottom right hand corner, there is actually a question mark icon. If you click on it, you go to the online help, to the help guide. Yeah, so there is actually a search rules that you can explore. Yeah, there is a use of the lemmatization, stemming, use the quotation mark, and so on, the spelling variations, the operators, the Boolean operators, and so on. So you can explore a little bit more on this if you want to do a little bit more of a complex searches. But today in this session, I just want to take you through a lot of other features on this this platform. So we will focus on the searches that we've done earlier. Okay. So now coming back to coming back to the same search. So all our search results will be automatically saved. It is always kept in the search history. But now I'm going to take you through this and show you. Okay, so this has been sorted by highest first. But if you want to sort this based on, remember, the usage, yeah, so you can do so. Usage lasts 180 days or so. You can have that option. You can have citation highest option and other options that is listed here. So now if you say, yes, I have gone through some of these documents, it's relevant to me, and I want to have a quick I want to save this information into my mark list. I want to bookmark this to future references. So if you notice this paper has been bookmarked. Yeah? So it's been I have already marked it. So if you want to say, no, I don't want to include this, I want to include this, include the other one and this, and you want to add it to your mark list. So if in the marked list, either you create a new list or you can use the existing list that you have created. This is what I'm saying. You can grow the number of lists, then you can grow the whole content, the content sets, just by adding content to the existing list. Yeah? So let's say I want to add this into my rechargeable batteries. Okay? So now the other 3 selected content has been now added to my marked list. So where is my marked list? My marked list is actually here at the menu, at the marked list page here. I will come back to exploring the marked list later. So we will see that when we are looking at this panel. Okay. So now it has been saved into your marked list. You can also say, okay, I would like to export some of this document to my citation management system. So select that and you export it to your citation management system, whichever the one you're accessing is EndNote or the EndNote desktop, or if you're using RefWorks or the Mendeley or Zotero, or if you're using Citevi, you can use, or you can export it to the citation, Excel sheets as well. It's a straightforward export. So in just what you need to bear in mind is to export it to here, Excel. So you have, there's more, there's at one go, you can only export 1,000 records here at a time. So if you want to export more, then you just go on to the next round a couple of times to export the rest of the records. Okay, so that is export. So you can export, you can create a marked list, your own bookmark list, and you can sort the information. Now I want to say, let's say if you're analyzing this information, and if you find that you already refine it accordingly, and you want to have, if there's any new content is being added to this platform on this topic, subsequently, you can set the frequency, you just create the alert. So when you create an alert, this is actually a search alert. The search will run according to how you have set it. And if there's any new papers has been added to this platform, it will notify you to your email. Yeah, so that is create email. Okay, now I move on to do some going into deep dive into the article itself, because we want to explore the citation network itself. So now to get to there, if you recall the enrich cited references. So if enrich cited references, remember I said it's a cited references, but the data has been enriched to ensure that you have context to what has been cited. To show the context. So not all the content has the enriched citation references. Yeah. So if you don't see, if you select and refine it, you will, whenever you access to a documents, you will see this label enriched cited references. So that means this particular article has been enriched. Yeah. So that if you go in further, of course, you can see the title of it. If you notice, compared to last time, this page is very clear, very structured. Yeah. So you can see it's by whom, the author's name, author's information, not too cluttered, and the journal information. And as you scroll down, you will see the enriched cited references. So before we go in and look at the enriched cited references, if you notice, there is also information about the journals that has been, this article has been, this document or this paper had been published. So this in energy environment science. So if I want to know a little bit more about this journal articles profile, the journal's profile. So all that I do is I can just click on it and I get to access to the journal information. You get access to this information because you have subscribed to Journal Citation Report. So therefore, there is an overlay page. It's available in Web of Science. Yeah, from here. Right. So now let's see. This is the journal. So there's the journal impact factor for 2022 as well as 5 years, and the journal category with the quartile information as well, together with the journal citation indicators and so on. So of course you can click more to go into the journal citation report to explore more, but this is just for a quick look, quick understanding about learning about the journal's profile from here. So now I want to take you to the enrich cited references. So if you notice, if you click on the enrich cited references, so it will take you to the 102 cited references. As you scroll down, the references are all at the bottom here. Okay. So now this shows, this basically, remember, if you recall, each of these dots is represent each of the cited references. And if you want to explore more on the in-text citation, in-text mention, you just click on it. It will take you to the in-text citation. Sorry, take some time. It will bring you to the references that talks about. Okay, here you go. So it's here at the document 47. It talks about the details. So that means this cited references is at the introduction section, but it is classified at the background, and you can quickly read it and you understand what is the intention or what is the context of these cited references immediately. Yeah, so that is why the cited references is a powerful tool if you want to quickly understand the context of the cited references, or where it has been cited. Is it introduction, discussion? In some instances, almost it's cited in many other sections of the articles. Okay, so this is cited references. Just go back one, go up here to the document, and as you scroll down, of course, you have the keywords, in the author's information, and the classification. Remember the classification, if I want to know, okay, this is in the citation topic, you could have refined it earlier, but now I want to take you through this. Also, how do you see that, you can see even a better way. This is under the chemistry. So, and then you have the metalloenzymes, and then you have hydrogenase. So if you want to say, I want to look at other research which regarded to hydrogenase, so you basically just click on it. It will group all the citation classification papers that has citation classification, micro citation classification, hydrogenase together. So it's easy for you to explore it further. Same goes if you want to look at it from a broader category, from the journal perspective. Okay, and the funding information is all here. Okay, now let's assume this is something you have found, and you found this is something very interesting, just for the example sake, yeah. And you now can explore the citation network. So let's say you don't find many other articles, but you want to explore a little bit more on the citation network. On your right here, it's all the citation networks. So you can see this is the other this particular paper has been cited in other 599 citations. So if you want to explore further and say, okay, I want to explore why it's been cited, which one has the highest citation, you just do your own, and you can analyze further, you can do a quick citation report and so on. So these are all papers that have cited this particular paper. Then you just go back once you've got the ideas, the relationship between these papers, then you can go back. Hold on, take some time. Okay, and then you can go looking at we already looked at the cited references, so you can click on the cited references to understand the connections and the history behind it. You go way back to look at the why is it being cited, with the support of the enriched cited references as well. So now next one is to also look at the, remember if we talked about the view related record. So what is view related, what is related record? Related record means the papers that have shared the citation, right? If they have shared the citation from this paper, so that will also surface here. So let's say we look at this. Okay, so this paper somehow had shared 31 citation from the previous paper. So that means there is something that is relevant. So it is like you want to explore, you want to consult a little bit more on these papers to see the relationship, or you want to understand the idea of these papers and so on. So that's how you will get connected to the citation network. So you don't have to worry if even you find one paper, two papers, but with the help of the citation network, you will be able to discover more information, the undiscovered information through this keyword search and so on. Okay, so that is what I wanted to show you here. Like before I go further, just a minute, takes a bit longer time. Okay, So now let's just go back one more step. I want to go back to the citation network. Okay, we come to the citation network to this particular paper. Yeah, hold on. Sorry, I'm experiencing a slow in loading. Let's hope it's okay at your end. Okay, now you look at this. This is all you can explore the citation, and you can see where else, apart from the core collection, where else it has been cited. So you can see it has been also cited in the Chinese Science Citation Database, Biosis Database, Skyload Database, and so on. Okay. Now, the other thing that you want to see is this paper. Subsequently, how is this paper being cited? Subsequently, how the breakdown of this article has been mentioned. Okay, you can see it has been based on this 509 citation, but there's about 160 citation items, the snippets from the 160. You can see mainly it has been mentioned at the background and also at the discussion. So you can also have a quick look on that. Of course, you have all the others recommended information on your right here. So now I'm coming back to show you the full text that we talked about, right? So if you want to access to the full text, let me just clear this. So you will see that there is a free full text from the publisher, so you can access to the full text directly from here. But I did talk about, having access to the, having access to the EndNote clicks here. So if you click on the EndNote clicks, and if you install the EndNote click, and if you have put it into your browser as a browser plugin, so you will now able to see if there is any articles that is available. It crawls through and find for a PDF. So whether it's in the open web, is it an open access content, or it could be a collection from your subscription from your library. Then you can access to those EndNote quickly with the EndNote sign. Like for example, if you can access to the full text. Okay, so this is how you can access immediately. If you see the sign of the view PDF EndNote, you should be able to access. Usually, you will see it, crawling in this level here. It's either you view full text, or you will see that it's available in the searching institution. Keep looking for PDF and so on. Okay. So that's how you can use the full text to explore it. Okay, so far what we have done is we have started with keyword search, and then we explore a little bit more on the detail of it. But now I want to go in and to show you how you can explore your own publications by using the affiliation search. So I'm still in the document search. I'm going to go into the affiliation and say this time, okay, let me clear it, yeah, to start a new search. Okay, now affiliation, here you go. Okay, we want to look at UMP's application. So I just type in Pahang and I get to access to University Malaysia Pahang. Yeah, so you search it. So what I have is it's collections of information, publication. It almost 9,000 of collections of information. That is from the year 2007 onwards. But in your collection, if you notice, you only have up to 2018 to 2023. If you see a differences, then you will just check on the year. Yeah, you will see some differences in the numbers. That's due to the subscription collection that you have. Okay, so from here, basically, it's the same concept. You want to analyze the results. You want to look at the citation report, citation report, to see whether these, how you're performing. So you can see that's actually a consistent increase in your citation, and also a consistent increase up to 2019. Then it's a slight drop in the publication. All that you can see very quickly, immediately. You can have an answer to your questions. And also, of course, to looking at individuals' information, how many highly cited papers you have, how many what papers do you have. At the same time, if you notice, you can access to the researcher's profile immediately. Yeah? So for example, if you want to see, this content has been tagged to the researchers. So if you see Prof. Rajan, if you want to see, click on it, yeah, just click on it. And if you view the profile, okay. So when you view the profile, you will see that this profile, Prof. Rajan, is already claimed it. So when you see a green tick, some of it you don't see a green tick. Yeah, that means hasn't been claimed. So you need to claim it yourself. To make sure that you verify the information as well as enter more other information to build the researcher profile. So from here, of course, you will have all this information because you have entered the information about peer reviewer, or this has been already captured in the past. Yeah, so all that information, the other identifiers information, the names that has been published in the past, yeah, and organization is then the Prof. Raj has been Prof. Rajan has been affiliated with, yeah, and also the documents, publications, list of publication, including the publication that is not indexed in core collection. If there is a publication out there which is not is part of the core collection, is not indexed, but can be also included. As you scroll down, you will see that you can see the detail of it. Okay, now on the next one is the peer-reviewed information. So you can see Prof. Rajan has verified the peer-reviewed information for all these journals. There's so many journals, you can see, and also the verified editors record. Yeah, so if information has been added and then verified. So how do you get to add all this information? How do you get to update all this information? I will show you how to manage the researcher profile shortly. So on your right here, this also gives you the matrix. Yeah. So if you open the dashboard, so it explains to you total documents, total Web of Science publication collection, in total publication that's been indexed in Web of Science core collection. There's one preprint. Yeah, there's one preprint. And 229 verified peer reviews, 3 verified editors records, and etc. with the Web of Science matrix information. And also these, if I go to the open dashboard, okay, so you can see the citation report quickly. Citation reports been gaining citation. You can also see the publications, number of publication on here. But in this beam plot, it is the one which explains a little bit more on the activity of this particular author. So this beam plot is very, very helpful if you want to work if you want to collaborate with another author. So if you identified an author, say in a certain field of this research, you have identified some authors. So you probably will go through their author's beam plot to look at, how active they are in current years. So if you want to see in the entire year, you can just see the full career years. So you can see Prof. Rajan has been active in the past 5 years or last few years. Yeah, you can see that, and this is how you will see that. And also you can see the performance of their publications. So for examples, let's take this one. So this is 2021 published article, document or paper. So if I put a cursor here, this shows that hold on. So this shows that this is in the 97th percentile. That means, this particular citation has received, high citation in this field, material science taxa. So that is why it puts you under 97th percentile. That means it's on, this paper is performing well, yeah, the top 3%. And if you look at it from overall performance of that year, this is the overall performance publication is on the average median of 66 percentile. And the yearly percentile is here at the 73rd percentile. So this is how you will see. And most importantly, you want to see how, if you want to collaborate with this author, you can see the the current activeness in the publication, current activeness in their research area, and so on. Okay, Julian, do you want to add more to that? So I just want to show you, if you click on the graphical citation map, basically it will show you where is your citation come from. Yeah, so basically that's how it show you. Okay, now I want to take you how to make sure that you have a complete profile here, right? It's all on your left frame here. Okay, just go back to the left frame. So if you recall the mark list that we created, yeah, the bookmark list that we have created, if you click on it, it will show you, okay, I have unfiled records as well, but I have also filed records, like for example here. So today I have added information into the rechargeable batteries. So under the rechargeable batteries, I have 16 counts. So as I add on the content, I can access to, I can increase this information. And if I want to analyze it, basically it will take me to this page here, and I can analyze the results. I can check on information. I can sort it out and so on. So that is your mark list. At the bottom here, you will see the view of history of your search that you have done. So if you want to come back and rerun the search, let's say today you don't complete the search, tomorrow you want to come back and rerun the search, all your search will be locked under the history information, and you can rerun the searches, you can edit it, you can copy the link, share it with your team members, okay, and create alert from here. So, and you come down a little bit, you see a profile. So this is your researcher's profile. So you can edit your researcher's profile from here. Okay, so this is where you, for example, this is my profile, but of course I don't have any publication. So in your case, you will have all the publications. So if you want to manage it, you just click on managing and add the publication. So remember, in most cases, you may not want to, every time come and add yourself. So you can also enable the auto editing here. So in another option that you have is, let's say eventually you have you're moved on and you're working with another affiliation, you can also add your other email address so that it will capture the email publication that is associated with the email address that you have listed here. And you can add your publication by identifier, use the DOI or some other identifiers that you have. You can actually add the publication by file upload. You can sync your current ORCID ID with the researcher's profile here. Yeah, you can do all that. And remember the peer review information. How do the peer review information appears in your peer review column? So this is how you say, okay, in this the journal, have you peer reviewed, all this information, you just add it here. And editor's record as well, just add more editor's record, and also the editorial membership. So if you're a board membership, you are a member of a board, editorial board, just make sure that you add it here as well. So all this will appear in your researcher's profile later on. Okay. Now, lastly, I just want to show you the last part here in my profile. Let's go back to search. Okay. This is my profile. So I can edit my profile accordingly, customize my page. Okay. So this is the home page. If I want my researcher's matrix to be on top, I can do so. I can also bring it down and so on. Then communication. Here is the communication. So I want all the communication. So if I have more emails, then it is all also can be selected. And account setting here, very important. Okay. So this is my account setting. And the general setting. So that's it. So this is the profile settings. So, okay, let me come back to this. You can also search for a researcher. So let's say if you identify the researcher's name, right? So for example, you want to search this researcher by the name. You can also search by identifiers or organization. But let's say if you already have the name that you want to search, you to explore in this researcher. So some of them, if you notice, you don't see the green tick. That means they have not claimed that profile, but some of you will see the green tick. So let's assume that you want to explore one of them. Just and you can go through the same option, looking at the metrics, looking at the bin plot, looking at their publication, looking at the peer review information, and etc. Okay, so that's what you can do. So with that, I have shared all the important information for you. I know it's a bit on kind of a little express, but in this 1.5 hours, I think we have covered all the objectives that we set earlier. Just go back one step. So we have looked at how to find the literatures to conduct your literature review, to look at how it can help you to find most influential papers, through the hot research papers and highly cited papers. And we have looked at how citation connection or citation network helps you to explore, to understand the relationship between your paper, use of the analytic tools and the citation reports, to help you to support your research journey, as well as looking at creating files or profile for yourself, and how to showcase your expertise. So this is what we have seen in this session. We have another session later at 2:30 that is on journal citation report itself by Ms. Julie, my colleague. So please join that session because they are interrelated, they are connected. So it's good to join that session. So now I just see if there's any question, I will take the question. Otherwise, I'm done with the session. I will hand it over to Panafida. Panafida, do you want to do the closing?
Just a short closing. Thank you to all participants and Ms. Kurinji. See you all. See you at 2:30 p.m. for those who has registered for this for session 2. That's all. I hope all participants can gain a new knowledge and information from this sharing session.
Thank you, Panafida. Thank you so much for the participants for your time. Hope we can have more session in future. And please attend the 2:30 session. It's very important for you as well. And lastly, I have shared the survey link, the post survey link here. And I'm also going to share my email address. So in case if you have any question, feel free to ask me, because then I know what is that is there's a gap to the users, if you want to know. So I'm going to share my email address here. Yes, I will be sharing the recording to Panafida, then later on Panafida will share a few, okay, together with the slides. Thank you so much and have a great day ahead. See you later. All right.
Okay, thank you.